One former player might not be having a good day, and that is DeWanna Bonner.
DeWanna Bonner was a player for the Fever, and she's currently a player for absolutely nobody. That could be an absolute disaster.
It is looking real spooky for DeWanna Bonner.
2 minutes ago, it finally happened. DeWanna Bonner just paid the price for walking out on Caitlyn Clark in the Indiana Fever.
She comes here, we give DeWanna Bonner a starting spot. She can't maintain it.
After quitting the team days before their biggest win, she's now out of a contract, out of the spotlight, and out of $50,000. Some call it bad luck. We call it karma. If you think Caitlyn Clark deserved better all along, drop a 100% in the comments right now.
No comparison to Caitlyn Clark. Caitlyn Clark is the most watched basketball player in world basketball right now. There's nobody that does what Caitlyn Clark does.
How special and rare Caitlyn Clark is.
Caitlyn Clark is a gifted player.
Caitlyn is the one.
She's the biggest basketball star in the world.
DeWanna Bonner didn't just walk out on the Indiana Fever. She walked out on Caitlyn Clark, a rising team, and the opportunity of a lifetime. And now she's paying the price. Publicly, the team said Bonner stepped away for personal reasons. But the truth?
She tried to spin it. She quit the damn team. She's a quitter.
Multiple sources, including top WNBA journalist Annie Costable, confirmed she was quietly being shopped around for trades because the fit just wasn't working.
They said that that's why she decided to leave, because it just wasn't a good fit for her.
The Fever brought Bonner in as a veteran presence, hoping her championship experience could guide this young squad. Instead, she refused to adapt.
The Fever signed Bonner this offseason, a two-time WNBA champion, to help this young core.
DeWanna Bonner, she decided she wanted to leave the Indiana Fever. That's her choice.
After just 3 games, Bonner lost her starting spot to Lexi Hull.
After 3 games in a starting role, Bonner was moved to the bench in favor of shooting guard Lexi Hull.
Well, Lexi Hull's success and continued success in the system with Caitlyn from last year, I think, was the big reason that DeWanna Bonner was moved to the bench at all.
Who instantly clicked with Caitlyn Clark's fast-paced style. And that's when everything began to fall apart. Rather than adjusting, Bonner reportedly checked out, choosing to leave the team just days before their shot at the Commissioner's Cup title. And here's where it backfired spectacularly. When the Fever lifted the trophy, each player took home a $50,000 bonus. Bonner, she walked away with nothing. No win, no bonus, no team.
Each player on the basketball team a $50,000 bonus. DeWanna Bonner will not receive because she quit the damn team.
Fans online were brutal. One post went viral saying, DeWanna Bonner somewhere punching the air right now. Another wrote, she could have waited 1 more week. Just 1 week. Her decision to quit didn't just cost her financially, it destroyed her credibility. Even as the Fever danced in celebration, Bonner stayed silent. No congratulations, no support, just silence.
And I know DeWanna Bonner sitting at home, big mad, $50K going down the drain.
And make no mistake, this wasn't just a missed paycheck. Sources estimate Bonner may have lost up to $100,000 between missed salary, forfeited bonuses, and lost value on the open market.
She's going to cost herself about $100,000. She didn't think the fit was correct.
And now, teams aren't rushing to sign her. One reporter even said it bluntly. Bonner has become a consolation prize in the league. This isn't just a case of bad timing. It's the perfect example of what happens when a player tries to cheat the system.
She had been gone, and quite frankly, this has to be the biggest quitting situation in a mighty long time.
Ignore the team and disrespect the process. She walked away thinking she'd land somewhere better. But what she didn't realize is the game had already moved on.
She made that choice. Nobody else made that choice for her. She made the choice for herself.
And Caitlyn Clark, she never even flinched. While Bonner exited, Clark stayed the course. And the Fever, they got stronger without her.
DeWanna Bonner waived from the Fever. So she was out for a couple of weeks for personal reasons, and then it was reported that she requested out of the Fever. But the fact remains that she is out.
At the center of all this drama isn't just a personality clash, it's a basketball identity crisis. The Indiana Fever are building something fast, aggressive, and modern. And the truth is, DeWanna Bonner couldn't keep up.
She's 37 years old. Let's put that out there. She's not the same player that she was 10 years ago. The way that Caitlyn Clark wants to play, which of course is the way that the Fever plays, that she is their nucleus, they want to push the ball down the court. They want to be quick. They want to be fast moving. At 37 years old, that style of play might not fit DeWanna Bonner very well.
Caitlyn Clark didn't just arrive as a rookie. She came in and reshaped how the Fever play. Her vision, deep shooting range, and relentless pace created a whole new rhythm. Suddenly, the team wasn't dragging the ball up the court. They were sprinting, stretching defenses, and putting up points in transition. And if you couldn't run with her, you got left behind. Bonner, now 37 years old, has had a decorated career. But the WNBA isn't a loyalty league, it's a performance league. Early signs of mismatch were visible from day one. In fact, one reporter recalled Bonner literally gasping for breath during training camp.
DeWanna Bonner had mentioned, like, she had to catch her breath because these guys are fast.
Yeah.
Admitting herself that, "These girls are fast." That quote said it all. This wasn't her game anymore. She was expected to bring leadership. Instead, she brought friction. After just 3 games, Bonner was benched in favor of Lexi Hull, a younger, quicker shooter who fits Clark's tempo like a glove. Lexi doesn't just match Caitlyn's speed, she enhances it.
Lexi Hull come in, and she fits that style.
She defends, spaces the floor, and moves without the ball, allowing Caitlyn to operate freely. Their chemistry helped push the Fever forward and expose Bonner's outdated style. And that's when ego entered the picture. Rather than embrace a new role or adapt her game, Bonner chose the exit ramp. As sources revealed, the team initially kept her absence under the vague term, personal reasons.
The Fever originally cited personal reasons for her absence.
But behind the scenes, they were already exploring trade options.
The team was actually actively shopping her on the trade market.
And Bonner wasn't cooperating. Reports surfaced she was even refusing trades unless it was to one of a few preferred locations, namely Phoenix, where her fiancé Alyssa Thomas plays. But here's where it gets worse. The Fever didn't want to wait around. Caitlyn Clark's leadership demanded momentum, not drama. The team needed every spot to count, and with Bonner unwilling to adjust or accept a different role, she became a liability. So Indiana made a bold choice. They waived her.
DeWanna Bonner has officially been waived by the Indiana Fever.
And the WNBA? They didn't exactly welcome her back with open arms. Bonner cleared waivers with 0 teams picking her up, not even the ones with the cap space to do so. Why? Because as multiple insiders confirmed, teams were advised not to bother.
Multiple sources have indicated that Bonner is not going to be picked up off of waivers because teams have been advised not to do so.
Bonner only wanted to play for 1 or 2 franchises.
Bonner has a few locations that she's willing to play in.
She had preferences, and the league wasn't going to bend for her. Compare that to Caitlyn Clark, showing up, accepting hits, battling refs, shouldering media pressure, and still pushing her team forward. She's doing whatever it takes. Meanwhile, Bonner couldn't even adjust to a reduced role without walking out. Even Fever coach Stephanie White kept it real in a press conference. "We made adjustments to the lineup. We just couldn't get it to a place where it felt good for her."
We had conversations. Obviously, we made some adjustments to lineup, some of the things we were doing, and we just couldn't get it to a place where it felt good for her.
Translation: Caitlyn and the team were evolving. Bonner wasn't, and that's the ultimate difference between the two. Caitlyn Clark adapts, leads, and lifts the system. DeWanna Bonner resisted change, clung to her past, and ended up left behind.
Attention Fever fans, DeWanna Bonner missing in action.
DeWanna Bonner is officially missing in action.
DeWanna Bonner is on the way out.
Sometimes subtraction leads to multiplication. DeWanna Bonner's exit could have shattered the Indiana Fever, but instead it unleashed something powerful. It cleared the path for a team that didn't just survive her departure, they thrived without her.
DeWanna Bonner still in an awe moment. Grateful is the only word that could come to mind to anyone chasing something bigger than themselves. Keep going, your moment is coming. This is the only Indiana Fever post that she has on her account on her Instagram.
And at the center of it all, Caitlyn Clark. Let's be honest, Bonner was brought in to be a steadying veteran force, someone who could lead a young team through growing pains. But when that leadership turned to frustration and eventually abandonment, it forced the Fever to do something bold. Reset the roster around a system that actually works. And that shift, it started with Caitlyn. While Bonner ghosted the team, Caitlyn Clark stayed locked in, even while nursing a groin injury. She never distanced herself. She showed up to every game, stayed engaged in huddles, celebrated teammates, and remained the emotional engine of the team.
But she was definitely celebrating with her team last night.
While Bonner was avoiding trade calls and team meetings, Clark was showing up early to practices and leading pregame warm-ups. The contrast couldn't be more striking. But the real turning point came with the arrival of Ari McDonald. Freed up by Bonner's departure, Indiana had the cap flexibility and roster space to bring in McDonald, an absolute game changer.
Ari McDonald, and this is a player who does want to play in that pace, can fill in the void for Caitlyn Clark.
Young, explosive, and committed to defense and tempo, McDonald instantly clicked with Caitlyn. Instead of slowing the game down, she sped it up. Instead of needing the ball, she created off movement and pressure. The two guards together became a nightmare for defenses.
Imagine what it's going to be like when Caitlyn Clark ends up coming back from the groin injury, when you can incorporate her with Ari McDonald.
One stretching the floor with deep shots, the other slicing through gaps with relentless energy. One analyst said it best. Ari McDonald is having a bigger impact on this team than the two-time champion DeWanna Bonner ever did. And the results? Undeniable. With McDonald in and Bonner out, the Fever not only played better, they started winning when it mattered most.
The Indiana Fever would not have won yesterday if Ari McDonald was not there.
They went on to win the Commissioner's Cup, their biggest accomplishment in over a decade. While Bonner sat at home, likely watching from the sidelines, the team she left behind was hoisting a trophy and cashing $50,000 bonus checks. Her exit literally funded their rise.
What they were able to do is open up a little bit of cap space and a roster spot and re-sign Ari McDonald.
But the numbers don't even tell the full story. The chemistry changed. The locker room became tighter. The pace got faster, and the culture shifted. What was once a team in flux became a team with identity, driven by Caitlyn Clark's leadership, Ari McDonald's hustle, and a hunger that Bonner never seemed to share. Even coach Stephanie White admitted that bringing Ari back was the turning point.
We had the opportunity to bring Ari back around the timing with the 10-day wait period, so we just felt like it was best for all parties to part ways.
She said, "We had the opportunity to bring Ari back. We just felt like it was best for all parties to part ways with Bonner." Translation: they chose someone who fits alongside Caitlyn Clark.
There's not one Fever fan that's going to be pissed off because it allowed us to sign Ari McDonald.
They chose someone who believes in the mission. They chose team over ego. And let's not forget, during this entire run, Caitlyn Clark was not even 100%. She was managing injury. She was playing through pressure, fatigue, and nonstop media noise. Yet even while hurt, she stayed present. She stayed locked in. And most importantly, she elevated those around her. That's what leaders do. Bonner left because the system didn't revolve around her. Caitlyn stayed, even when the spotlight brought criticism, foul calls, and constant targeting. The difference is crystal clear. One walked away when things got tough. The other stayed and helped the team rise above it all. And as for Bonner, the woman who was once supposed to be the backbone of this squad is now a footnote, a forgotten name on a roster she walked away from. The league sees her as a risk. Teams see her as a backup option. Some insiders even say she could end up as a hardship player, a fall from max contract status to minimum wage desperation.
There is a chance that DeWanna Bonner becomes a hardship player for the rest of the season.
Meanwhile, Caitlyn Clark is the face of the future. The Fever didn't just survive DeWanna Bonner's betrayal. They evolved because of it.
Indiana Fever laughing all the way to the bank, dog. Laughing all the way to the bank on DeWanna Bonner.
And Caitlyn Clark, she's not just leading this team, she's changing the WNBA.
That just doesn't highlight her strength. So I think it's probably a combination of style of play reasons, personal reasons, and yeah, like you said, at this point, she probably wants to win basketball games, make a little bit of money in the process, and have fun.
DeWanna Bonner thought she was walking away from a mess, but in reality, she walked away from a movement, a team that was ready to run, a system that was built for the future, and a superstar in Caitlyn Clark who was just getting started. She gave up the chance to lead and ended up watching from the sidelines, while the same squad she left behind won without her. That's not just a loss on the court, that's a loss of legacy. Meanwhile, Caitlyn Clark stayed loyal, stayed focused, and stayed leading, even through injury, pressure, and constant criticism. She didn't need to chase the spotlight. The spotlight followed her because she earned it.
She is by far the best player in the league. All the fans want to be just like Caitlyn.
She's the biggest draw by far this league has ever had.
Bonner got the headlines for quitting, but Caitlyn Clark got the win for never backing down. Now let us ask you, was this karma? Did the right person rise and the right one fall? Let us know in the comments. And if you believe Caitlyn Clark is the future of this league, drop a 100% below to show your support. Because no matter who walks away, Caitlyn Clark always stands tall.